Hey everyone, this is Worthy, and I'm making a video today for the AK47. I got asked to do a video from a friend of mine named Explosive. He wanted to know how I use the weapon, and just, some of the techniques that I use to keep consistent and shoot the weapon as a whole. So, I'm going to break down exactly what I did when I came into this game, which was like a month ago. I played before, back in 2011, but I never used the AK like consistently. It was more of an M4 thing. And I feel in this game, personally, the M4 is still king, no matter what benefits the AK might have. And I'll explain why right after I kill this guy. Okay, so, gonna just pick up another gun. So, the AK comparison to the M4. Now, what you want to keep in mind, this is going to help you overall, like just with using the AK and just understanding what your boundaries are. The M4 is going to be better in the metagame of the American Crossfire scene because there's no head armor. Now, if you've noticed in the Chinese version, or you watch any of the games, most of them will use the AK, and the reason being is because you have that one-shot headshot. Just like in Counter-Strike, when you have head armor and then it comes into play, the AK is always king. But when you see buy rounds that don't include head armor, the M4 is going to dominate. So the same thing happens in Crossfire. Now, the reason being, the M4 has an ability where the first 5 bullets, 4 or 5 bullets, are pretty much dead straight. So you've got an equivalence to a laser gun that can shoot in the head one shot and dominate your opponents. And it adds to the fact that it's even more powerful just with the fact that the game has massive amounts of interp. So most of the times with the M4, when a person pops out, they're going to kill you, and you're not even going to be able to see them if they popped you in the head right away, and they haven't missed, and their aim isn't bad. So a lot of the times you're going to see the good players just come around the corner, and they're going to, like you'll see on their demo, it looks normal, but on your screen, there's nothing you can shoot at, there's nothing you can react at. So that's why the M4 is so good without head armor. Now, the AK, if head armor was in play, the way I see it, the AK would be a lot more balanced. Because you don't have the same shooting ability that the M4 has, you have to control it a little bit to get it to the point where the M4 is at with just how straight the bullets go. So when you're spraying, not spraying, but when you're bursting, holding down mouse 1, there's a thing about this game where it's called like ratio recoil. It's kind of like in Counter-Strike, but in Counter-Strike, it's a ratio that continues to expand. Whereas in Crossfire, it only goes to a certain point, and then it plateaus off. And I'll show you what I mean afterwards when I go into the training mode or the shooting area, so you can see it more clearly. But you've got a ratio recoil only up to a point, and then it plateaus off, and it stays at the same ratio. So you don't have to actually control it anymore. So that gives the M4, or not the M4, but the AK a really good ability to just spray. Like, I can spray across the map, as you just see there. And I can have relatively good control. I can ball my shots the way I want it, and I'm going to hit a lot of my targets that way. The M4 is not as good with that because there's a lot more spread. So you're not able to control it like the AK. And that's the one benefit that you have with the AK over the M4. But, like I said, with the metagame the way it is, the M4 is way better just in the fact that you can one-shot with it. So, I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want to go with all of this. I'm going to spray into the wall as soon as I get a minute, just so you can see what I'm talking about with the plateau. And I'm not sure, because I don't spray the M4, but I'm not sure if the M4 also has that plateauing effect. Let me see. Okay, I probably have a second right now. So I'm going to spray right here. So right here I plateaued off. I'm not moving down anymore. Like I went from here to here pretty much when I pulled down. So it's not moving up and down anymore, it's just moving left to right. So in Counter-Strike, the difference is the gun would keep moving up. It just keeps moving up. There might be a moment in time when it plateaus, but you still feel that kick. And it's a different feel in this game. It's just plateaus off and it doesn't move anymore. So you want to remember that. Now, there's a few ways that people shoot the AK, and you can counter this recoil amounts. Now, you can full spray like I was doing there, just like you would the M4, and that works really well at certain ranges. I find that in long range it's not so good when you have to be a lot more consistent with your aim. But there's also another way that I've noticed that people use, and it's kind of an abuse of the game mechanics, but the fact that the guns in this game recover so fast, you can use that to your advantage. Now, what I mean by recovery is that on the right-hand side, when you play a game, and I'll hop in the game real quick so you can see again, but on the right-hand side of your screen, you have a little AK or whatever weapon you have, and it'll light up whenever you start shooting bullets, and that's going to indicate how much recoil you actually have. So, if you've noticed, when you tap fire a gun in this game, this is why tap firing is pretty good in this game, you automatically recover, like automatically. So you can shoot a 3-bullet burst with an M4 and instantly shoot another 3-bullet burst with an M4 if you've given it, significant amount of times, or not significant, but sufficient amount of time to recover. So what you can do with the AK is you can use that to your advantage. Now you can tap fire. This is what I've seen from Chinese, Crossfire players. They tap fire like 6 bullets before it starts bouncing out of control, and they tap fire like a motherfucker, like really, really fast. This guy's not starting the game because he's got Down syndrome or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna hop into this one. So you can spray, which is sort of more of like a Counter-Strike thing, where you want to just control it and you can feel out the recoil. But then you also have the tap firing, and the tap firing is a lot easier. So here it is. Like right there, I barely pulled down on any of those shots. I just wanted to keep them bald, so I just moved them. I just moved it down a little bit when I was tapping. But you can see, like, you can tap really, really fast and have little to no recoil. And if you look at the bottom right of the screen again, I'll do it one more time. You can see that it's barely turning. It's barely turning red. Now, if I were to spray, it would turn red almost automatically. There it is. I'll show you tap firing again, and I'll use it on this target. So there, you basically saw, like, that was close range and it was easy, but there was little to no recoil control when I tap fired really fast. As you can see, like there again, I just sprayed again. Not sprayed, but I tap fired really fast. That one I tap fired really fast as well. That I tap fired really fast. And you can see it's very simple. That one I bursted because I felt like it was a good range to burst. But you can see, like, it's very, very simple to just control the recoil of the gun. Just kill me, kid. Kill me. Thank you. It's very easy to control the recoil of the gun when you're tap firing. So I think my basic rule, I sprayed those 2 guys down. My basic rule for shooting this gun is that if I'm guaranteed to hit the shot, I'm going to spray. But if I'm not guaranteed to hit the shot, where there's like, an angle where I feel like, maybe like this, for example, I might not hit a spray at this range, or not that range, but like if I was to shoot like right here or something like that. If I'm not guaranteed to hit those shots, I'll probably start tapping really fast. And I'll aim to trace my opponent's head with the center dot on my crosshair. Now I use type B crosshair just for that effect. See, like, I wasn't going to miss there. So right there I just sprayed. I sprayed 9 bullets, and I hit him with pretty much every shot. Here I want to try to aim. I want to try to aim a little better, and I want to tap as fast as I possibly can, like I was telling you to do. But obviously I failed. So it's very situational what you want to do. And I feel like at certain ranges like you saw. I'm not as consistent. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my aim. But you want to avoid, you know, the weaker angles. Like the long range is not going to be as good in this version because everyone doesn't have head armor. So they're going to just shoot a lot more bullets to your 1 or 2 bullets that you tap out really fast. And they're going to have a lot more bullets out of their gun in comparison to you. So their chances of headshotting you and beating you at long range is a lot higher. So there's a lot of pressure on you as an AK to be able to hit long range shots. So it's better to try to keep the gun battles at close range and medium range. You can see, like, I never miss a shot at close range and medium range. But when you challenge me at long range, I might falter. But that doesn't... It's funny because it doesn't translate. Whenever I use the M4, I'll just switch to it. Oh, I don't have it on for some reason. But whenever I use the M4, that never happens. At long range, I can hit those shots. I'm just going to play a little more here. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit more of an example, just so you can see what I'm doing. I just want to make the comment though too, like I don't think there's a right and wrong way of shooting the gun. Because the first 4 bullets, from what I've noticed, will always go to this green dot. It's one of the reasons why I like using it, because it's a point of reference, and if it's something that I don't have to think about, it's going to make me that much more consistent and that much more fast. Because all I gotta do is put the dot on their body, and I know that the first 4 bullets are going to go dead straight to wherever that dot is. Once I hit to the 5th bullet, I know that 5th, 6th, and 7th bullet are going to go in the middle of my top part of my crosshair. So if I can keep their head towards the dot and the middle of the top part of the crosshair, I'm going to probably score a headshot on them. Sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes it does. It's a video game. You can't expect it to be completely consistent. But you can try to get it there. So you can see, like, I sprayed that, and I knew that by the 8th bullet, I think I hit him on the 8th bullet or something like that, around there, around 7th or 8th. It was at the tip of my crosshair, and I hit the headshot. So my best advice to you guys is to not follow exactly how I shoot the gun, but the way you improve using your AK or using your M4, using any gun in this game, is just learning how to trace aim a lot better. So by trace aim, I mean, I'm not going to kill this person, but I'm going to try to keep the dot on their head as long as I possibly can. And if I can follow them, I didn't try to kill that person. I could have easily killed him, but I just tried to keep the dot, you know, close to his head. And if I could trace him, and I can burst 4 bullets, I'm going to hit that shot. As you can see, I can just run around. If I'm tracing the person perfectly, there you go, there's another one. Another one. If I can just try to keep the dot on their head as long as I possibly can and follow their movement, I'm going to become a much better shooter because of it. Oof, that guy just did a 360. So that's, I mean, it's a very unprofessional video. I sort of did it in the last minute. Didn't script it or anything. But that's, on the whole, that's basically what I do with the AK. I've only been playing for a month, so I haven't gotten the full extent of what I can do with the AK. But my recommendation for you right now is just learn how to trace aim, practice it as much as you possibly can, and observe demos of professional Chinese players that play this game, and shoot the AK on a regular basis. And review this video. Maybe I help you that way. Just for your observation. I'm going to finish this game, and then I'm going to sign off, so you might hear me talk, but I probably won't be talking too much. fact, I might just turn on some music at this point. I don't know. I'll find out when I'm editing the video. Have a good one. I just want to mention, I just noticed, with the tap firing, and just in respect to the trace aiming, if you keep that green dot on their head while you're tap firing, you're probably going to score a headshot. As you can see, like, I'm going to do this right now. So I pretty much followed his head perfectly, and I tapped really, really fast there. And like I said, it takes about 6 bullets before you start getting out of control. So what you want to do is, in your mind, you're going to develop muscle memory to make sure you control the recoil bounce that you get when you tap fire, and keep that green dot just following their head. I believe that's the most consistent way you can shoot the gun at long ranges, when you're not 100% you're going to hit them. I think another thing that's really good to mention is that you want to try to use the fact that you can stun a person by hitting them once, just like I did there. So you can move in from a tap really fast, and once you've hit them a few times, you can either continue to tap or you can spray. So I thought I hit him twice there, so I ended up spraying just to try to finish him off. And that was a full auto. Obviously I don't want to do that. I want to try to hit him first before I move into a full auto. Now that's the hardest friggin' angle to shoot at, but I got him. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If there's any specific questions that you want me to answer in the next video, please feel free to ask. Thanks for watching.